Just a beast last night, the Titans win over Buffalo. You know, guys, before Derrick Henry was Derrick Henry, he was little Derrick Henry. And little Derrick Henry, also a beast. Check this out. Not really little Derrick Henry, but he may as well have been. Watch the guy. Watch him. Watch him. Lines up. Watch the play unfold. Watch the mean stiff arm. Here it comes. Ooh, ooh. Watch the juke. The open field. Nobody could catch the kid. Also, nobody chasing him, apparently. Sure, look at the back of his jersey. He may be wearing Aaron Smith's jersey or Rod Smith or, I don't know, Will Smith. Who cares? This kid's got a future in open field running. Check back in 20 years to hear me say, I told you so. Check him out.
A little young for tackle football, maybe.
Right. They're really
Check
3 years old.
Watch Gate. This is from game 1. Gray hits a home run. Says, oh, look at this. It's my time. And then Dame Lillard like, no, that's literally my time. That's like, I have that trademark maybe, actually. So Red Sox didn't like that. Said, oh, we're doing gestures now. What happened last night? Erod on the mound. Correa grounds out. Check this out. Oh, Cora's like, no. Hey, we don't do that type of stuff here in Boston. We don't do it. Erod felt bad after the game. Take a listen.
I really want to say apologize because I do that, you know, but like I say, it just was part of the game, you know. So something that like sometimes that some things get in your mind and you just do things like that. But I feel bad right now because I do that, you know what I mean? But the good thing, we win the game and go out there and win another one tomorrow.
Can I tell you something? I didn't feel bad. I liked it. All the fans liked it. I thought it adds a little juice to it. I understand Cora's trying to keep the operation sort of up here, make it, you know, stay focused, don't let the opponent get into your head. But you know who agreed with me and thought it was awesome? You're never going to guess. Take a listen.
He did my celebration. I thought it was kind of cool. It's just the way baseball should trend moving forward. You know, we talk about making baseball fun. We talk about baseball, you know, growing and more people coming to watch the sport. You know, you need things like that. You need to let the players have fun. And you know, I loved it personally. I think the game should move in that direction where you can show emotions, so you can be yourself and you can keep it real.
How about
Keep
that?
it real. Loved it.
Good for Correa.
Turn of events.
I agree.
Yeah, I know.
I agree. Totally.
Time now for In or Out, sponsored by Midas for tires, brakes, oil, everything. Make your appointment at Midas.com. Talking some Cam Newton. Haven't heard much about Cam since he was released by the Patriots, but that changed yesterday. Seahawks coach Pete Carroll said Seattle has in fact touched base with the recently vaccinated Cam Newton. Seattle still without Russ while he recovers from finger surgery. Hey, Chris Broussard, you in or out on the Seahawks signing Cam Newton while Russ is sidelined?
Sorry, Cam, but I'm out on this one. Geno Smith wasn't that bad against Pittsburgh. He was okay. I know he had the fumble at the end, but that happens. T.J. Watt is outstanding at causing those things. So I get that part. But Geno Smith threw for 209 yards. Completed 72% of his passes. 1 touchdown, 0 picks. Now, let's look at Cam Newton last year in New England. Started 15 games. 10 times, Cam threw for fewer than 200 yards. Okay? Only 1 time did he throw for more than 1 touchdown, which Geno did in the game Sunday. 9 times Cam threw for 0 touchdowns, and only 4 times did he have a higher passer rating than the 99.6 that Geno threw up Sunday. All right, and that's in an offense that Cam had a training camp to prepare for. So I don't think you can expect Cam Newton to just step in there out of the blue and lead your offense better than Geno Smith did. And I'm not singing Geno Smith's praises, but I don't think Cam steps in there and does a better job coming off the streets. Hopefully you get Russ back after 2 games. You got the Saints, Nick, who they'll probably be underdogs, but that's a winnable game. And then you got Jacksonville, who you should be able to beat even with Geno, and then hopefully Russ is back. So I'm out on it, Nick.
Listen, I like a lot of what you said. I also think Geno's done a fine job. I think Cam, by the time Cam is up to speed, Russ should be back. the biggest argument for signing Cam, if you're the Seahawks, is if you just want to, like, balance out in the quarterback room the level of corny. So you have, like, Russell Wilson, the corniest quarterback in the whole league, and then Cam, one of the coolest quarterbacks ever. It's like you could bring it to an equilibrium of, like, okay, we're now at league average coolness in the quarterback room. But I'm also out on it because I don't think that's enough of a reason to bring him in. But I watched that Sunday Night Football game, and I did say one of these teams should sign Cam Newton. It's the Steelers.
Yes.
Not to start him over Big Ben, but to have him sign him. Wiles, here's what I wish they could do. I wish the Steelers could sign Cam and not tell anybody. Have it just be like, hey, we only have a 52-man roster. 53rd man is a mystery guy. He doesn't show up to practice. You just get him, he talks with the offensive coordinator, learns the playbook, and it's like, hey, we're going to have you ready for when Big Ben either gets hurt or when his arm falls off during a game, as it almost did in the Seattle game when he threw the ball directly into the ground. Because the Steelers' defense and coaching staff is good enough that they will be alive late in the year. But Big Ben is not going to be an effective quarterback late into the year. He's not an effective quarterback now. And this isn't me singing Cam's praises, but he's better than Dwayne Haskins. He's better than Mason. And so I think one of those two teams should sign him, but because I think you got to give Cam 6 weeks minimum to be ready, it doesn't make sense for the Seahawks. I think it could make sense for the Steelers, but I'm out on the Seahawks doing it.
Look, I think the Steelers are the perfect match for Cam. I wanted Cam back on the Patriots. I thought that he provides great leadership, great enthusiasm, and a special sort of style of play that you don't get from a lot of guys. The one thing you're not getting, however, if we can show the graphic, it's a lot of downfield throws. And I know everyone's like ripping Josh McDaniels for some of his play calling, since we've seen it with like sort of conservative stuff with Mac Jones, conservative stuff with Cam last year. But since that injury of TJ Watt, the guy hasn't been able to throw the ball down the field. That being said, Nick, I do think Pittsburgh is the perfect spot for him for two reasons. One, he said he actually wanted to leave New England or wouldn't be a fit in New England if Mac was the starter because his aura was too powerful and would be a distraction. So you need to go behind a guy who's sort of like set in stone, not going anywhere, you know, basically has a nice layer of legacy around him so the aura can't penetrate it. And now, too, the guy got vaccinated. Everybody ripped Cam Newton for not getting vaccinated. He went on Funky Fridays, his YouTube show, and showed the whole vaccination process, and people ripped him for not being vaccinated. He deserves the opposite for being vaccinated and documenting the whole thing. I think Pittsburgh and Cam would be a perfect match.
And again, I want to be clear here. I do not think Pittsburgh is benching Ben Roethlisberger at any point this year. But I also think it's totally reasonable to say if we're ranking quarterbacks as far as likelihood of having to miss time at some point this year, Big Ben is high on that list. And Pittsburgh's not throwing the season away, Jenna. So I'm a realist on what Cam is as a player right now. But even as a realist, that's a higher level than Haskins or Mason has ever shown in this league.
All right, we'll see what happens. All right, let's set the NFL aside for a second. And let us talk about the NBA kicking off tonight. Time for the moment I have been waiting for most of the offseason. My breath has been bated, Nick. Nick's new NBA player pyramid season tipping off tonight. Nick breaking out his pyramid next. I promise you, you will not want to miss this. First things first. Back after this.